This is the Real Estate Connect podcast, bringing you knowledge on all things real estate, from buying to selling to investing. No topic will be left untouched. If you're a first-time home buyer, just have an interest in real estate, or a question that needs to be answered, you're guaranteed to find it in one of our episodes. Licensed in both Georgia and Illinois, a previous team leader for Keller Williams Realty, and currently the owner of Maison Fleur Realty Group, with locations in Chicago and Atlanta. Here's your host, the Real Estate Connect herself, Sharina Flowers.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharina Flowers, the Real Estate Connect. Welcome to our podcast. And today we are going to be talking home inspections with Mr. Stanley Jackson. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Good afternoon. I'm Stanley Jackson with CVS Environmental Testing. I'm a certified home inspector, mold and asbestos inspector. I've been doing home inspections roughly 3 years now, mold inspections for the past 6 years. Got into the business because I wanted to be of help. A couple of my family members were looking to purchase a house, and they asked for advice and thought that this would be a good field for me. So like I said, I've been doing this for the past 3 years.
So you've been doing it for the past 3 years. How did you get into the inspection business?
Like I said, my niece was purchasing a house.
Okay.
They know I was doing inspections for mold, and she asked me to look at the house with her.
So is that how you started out doing mold inspections in the beginning?
Yes, I started out, I did water restoration, and I was a mold remediator.
Oh, so you were a mold remediator. Awesome. Yeah. So do you still do that?
I'm still doing that, and I'm trying to move my inspection business to full-time. So yes, I'm still doing the remediation.
Okay, awesome.
So once I helped her, my niece thought that this would be a good field for me. So I did some inquiries, went on and took some classes, got certified in the home inspection business, and I still do online training.
Okay, great. So actually that was going to be one of my questions. Does the home inspector need to be certified? So you mentioned you took some classes.
Right. In Georgia, you don't. In quite a few states, you don't have to be certified. I think it's good because they, like I said, they give you online training. They give you training. You could go to seminars, but you don't have to be certified in Georgia. Illinois, Texas, and Florida, you have to be certified.
Okay. I'm glad you said Illinois because I have a lot of clients that are in Chicago. So in Illinois, the home inspectors do have to be certified, just not in Georgia. No problem. Okay, so let's jump right into it. The purpose of our interview today is just to talk about the home inspection in general and to give the general consumer an idea of what the home inspection is and what the purpose of the home inspection is. A lot of times I get clients that want to waive the home inspection. And as a realtor, I always recommend that my clients get a home inspection. Even with new construction, I recommend that they do a home inspection, and we can get into that a little bit later. But my recommendation, personally and professionally, is to always get a home inspection no matter what. So first, can you tell us what the home inspection actually is?
Yes, ma'am. A home inspection is an objective visual inspection of the physical structure and the systems of the house, from the roof to the foundation. You watch some of these programs, I'm not going into someone's house, tearing it up, doing the spy work. It's just a visual. We do have equipment now in the modern age where I can do testing. I have infrared where we can do thermal imaging, so I can find problems like that. But I'm not doing any demolition to someone's house to do an inspection.
All right. So what is the purpose of the home inspection?
The purpose is mainly, a lot of people don't know, everything you buy has a life expectancy. Your water heater, your furnace, your TV, whatever you buy is not going to last forever. A lot of first-time home buyers do not realize this. So I come in, a lot of times when I'm looking at a house, appliance could be already at that life expectancy. So I'm giving them advance notice, so that might be something that they should be aware of, that they might have to purchase in the next year or so. Like I said, water heater, 8 to 10 years. A lot of people don't know that. Your furnace, everything, every mechanical part in your house has a life expectancy. Brand new, you still have a life expectancy. People think they buy something that's good forever till they die. Not the case.
Right. So you mentioned the appliances like the water heater and things like that. Those items have life expectancies. Do home inspectors go into the property and find like code violations? Are those things that you look for, or is that something that kind of happens once you've been?
That kind of happens. We're not really code enforcers. Depends upon the inspector. A lot of inspectors do know the codes, but that's not the inspector's job.
No problem. So do you guys make repair recommendations? So if you see that something is wrong with the property, do you make repair recommendations? How does that work?
If we see something wrong, we recommend that you get a professional in that trade. Some of us are handymen. That is a conflict of interest, really.
Okay.
We shouldn't be giving that advice because I could try and lowball somebody's price, try and make some money, or I could give you bad advice just so I could try and make some money on the side.
Right. So what all do you inspect in the house? Do you inspect everything? Do you go up on a roof? Give us a little bit of information about what you actually inspect.
All right. At CVS, we inspect from the roof down, but I don't go on the roof. I go to the edge and I'll lift up to see how many shingles. And then from the ground, I'll use my binoculars and zoom in and take a look at all your shingles from the ground. Some inspectors do go up top. My insurance does not allow me to do that, and it's not required for a home inspector to go on the roof.
Okay.
From there, like I say, I go and I test all the components from the roof. I start from the first floor up. The crawl space is the last place I go. The dirtiest place is the last place I go.
Okay. So you have to actually crawl into the crawl space, or you just...
Yes, ma'am. I actually crawl in. I have a suit to go inside, flashlight, and we'll take a look. A lot of times you get a lot of moisture problems down there, some mold problems. So we do go inside the crawl space. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And then what about electrical and plumbing? Do you guys inspect those items as well?
Yes, ma'am. Again, it's visual. I will turn on all the faucets. I have a meter. I check the water pressure to make sure your pressure's not too high. Same thing with the electrical. We have a device to check your GCFI, check all your breakers. We let you know where your panels and what your voltage is. That's it.
Okay. So what about in the incidences where the property is vacant or maybe it's a foreclosure and the utilities aren't on? Do you recommend that the utilities are on prior to the home inspection?
Yes, ma'am. It's all possible because if it's not on, I can't give you objective opinion without me being able to test it. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
If the water's not on.
Right. Water, electric, gas, all that. Okay.
Well, moving right along, do you recommend that the buyers attend the home inspections with you?
Yes. I would like that at all times. One, they can see what I'm actually doing. They can ask me questions throughout. And then at the end, I like to sit with them and go through everything we walk through it and explain what issues I found. So it's better than me just sending you the pictures and explaining it. I'd rather you be there.
Awesome. And so then once the inspection is complete, what happens?
Once the inspection is complete, again, I like to sit with you, talk to you, walk you through everything we've seen, especially anything negative. We'll go over it again. I'll have you a detailed report within 24 hours. You can ask me any questions from that. And the pictures, I'll document everything, pictures, and I'll have notes within that 24-hour period.
Okay, so you give the report in 24 hours and pictures are included in the report as well. Well, do you have any other information that you'd like to give to the people about home inspections? How much do the home inspections usually run?
Home inspection depends upon the company you're using. Some of us charge a flat rate. I charge square footage price. So basically, obviously, if it's a small house, it's $150. Could be up to, if you got a 7,000 square foot house, and it could be up to $450. It's usually my maximum price.
Okay. So I usually recommend my clients to budget anywhere from $350 to $500 for a home inspection. So it sounds about right on target to what you're charging.
Right. And I'm a smaller guy, so my prices can be a little bit lower than other companies, but I try to stay with the standard.
What the standard is. Awesome. So do you have any other information that you'd like to share with our listeners about home inspections, what they should expect when getting the home inspection, or how to prepare, things like that?
Mainly just try and find someone you feel comfortable with. And then, like I say, if you go there with them, I feel you have more comfort level once you're watching what we're actually doing. You got some guys that's just going to be there 5-10 minutes to try and make some money. So I think it's better if you, with the inspector, walk through with the inspector, have any concerns or questions, ask them then. Don't be scared to ask your inspector. You're paying him. He works for you.
Absolutely. I agree. Now, you know what? I hear this often, and I just want to get your take on this, because there are realtors that feel like home inspectors are deal killers. Do you hear that often?
Yes, ma'am. And I guess as a real estate agent, that could be correct. Our job is just to be honest with what we see. And that's what I'm doing. I give my honest opinion on the property, and I let the buyer decide from there. I don't lead them one way or the other, but I give an honest, objective opinion on what we see.
And I totally agree, because a lot of my clients are first-time home buyers. So I would rather you go in and you find out what all of the defects are, and we know in advance, as opposed to my client closing on the property and
Right.
then, the next day something happens. And
Right.
sometimes even with the home inspection, things happen.
Exactly.
As a new homeowner, your house has to bless you one way or another. So something's going to happen after closing anyway, but you don't want to go into a house that maybe has termites or something like that. And that's something that you could have found out beforehand, and you could have had the seller remediate prior to you moving in, things like that.
Exactly.
Now, we didn't cover new construction. Right now, both of us are in the Atlanta area. So there is a ton of development going on right now. There's a lot of new construction in a lot of the areas in and around Atlanta. Let's talk a little bit about new construction before you go, because a lot of times the builder or the builder's contractor will tell the client over and over again, you don't need a home inspection because we have inspectors come out, to certify the property, and they give us the occupancy certificate and all of these things. So you don't need a home inspector to come in. Now, me personally, I've had clients that have not wanted to get the home inspection and have had horror stories afterwards. So I'll go into a little bit about my horror story in a minute, but what can you tell us about new construction and why clients should still get the home inspection, even though it's a brand new house?
Even though it's a brand new house, it's still workmanship and the quality of workmanship. In the Atlanta area, like you said, they're building a lot of houses are coming up. They're putting these houses together in 3 months. What are the tradesmen? What are their quality? What are their skill level that's putting your house together? I moved here and had my house built, and I have some horror stories also. So you do need an inspection because of the fact that everyone makes a mistake at some time. It's safer if you get someone to look at it. My niece just bought a house. They tried to make it super hard to get an inspection. They wanted all these qualifications, all these paperwork before someone could come in. Every house has errors, flaws, just like people have flaws. You need to get a new home inspected as well as an old home.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I had a client that closed on her home about 1.5 years ago, actually, and she actually had 2 things wrong. So the first thing that she found out that was wrong was the dishwasher wasn't hooked up properly. So when she went to use the dishwasher, I guess it was the main water line wasn't hooked up properly. So she had water all over her floor from the dishwasher. So that was the first thing. And the other thing is a problem that she didn't know about or realize until it had gotten really bad. And so here in Atlanta, a lot of times they put the furnace in the attic and the hot water heater as well.
Right.
And so her furnace is a new build. Her furnace was in the attic. And is there a water line that goes to the furnace for the AC?
It's a drain condensation line.
So that condensation line was not hooked up properly. And so it was draining behind the walls, and she did not know until she was getting water and mold.
Quality craftsmanship. It's just PVC piping. It gets glued. Who inspected that? Who's going behind those guys' work? You don't know a lot of these things till you get in and turn things on.
Right. And so she moved in December, and she didn't realize until in the summertime, well into the summertime, that she had an issue. But at that point, she had a lot of moisture in the wall where it was coming down. She had mold in the wall where it's coming down. And, a lot of times they get people with, oh, you get this 10-month warranty. But man, let me tell you, every single person that has had a new construction that I've sold down here has had a problem getting that 10-month warranty done at the 10-month time period.
Exactly. I had a problem. This was before I got into the trade. Even I had a leak, same thing. They came out, gave me some story. I believed it because I didn't know no better. Once I got into the trade and figured out what was wrong and had my plumber come out, my warranty had expired. So I had to foot the bill myself. Or they would have kept pushing me aside.
Right.
I had the tradesmen to do it, and they did it for a reasonable price because they worked for me.
Man.
Yeah, it's terrible out here.
Yeah, it is. So I'm glad that you were able to, give me your point of view of, dealing with new construction and home inspections, because most of the time my clients will waive the inspection because it's an added fee. And it's understandable. They don't want to pay that extra $350, $500, whatever it ends up coming to. But, at the end of the day, would you rather pay the $350 to $500 in the beginning to prevent something from happening that may be more expensive in the long run? Right.
An inspector might find something that would cost thousands of dollars. If I find it now, you might spend a couple hundred to get it repaired. And after it breaks, you're spending thousands of dollars for the damage it does. So it's well worth the money.
Absolutely. Well, I think that about sums it up. And I think, your statement right there is one of the biggest reasons why people should get a home inspection. Go ahead and spend the $350 to $500, whatever it is, to prevent having $1,000 or tens of $1,000 expense in the long run down the line because you didn't check it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Stanley, I want you to tell our listeners how they can get in contact with you. A lot of our listeners are going to be first-time home buyers, people that are preparing to make their first home purchase in the near future. So how can they reach you? How can they get in contact with you to schedule their home inspection?
Yes, thank you. You can reach me at 404-271-7962 or my website at www.cvsenvironmental, that's CVS ENVIRONMENTAL.com.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Stanley. I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing with us your knowledge about your home inspection and, giving us your expertise. Today's episode has been brought to you by Prissy Strands Hair Collection, because you need hair that accentuates your prissy. Shop Prissy Strands Hair Collection today at www.prissystrands.com with a Z. That's PRISSYSTRANDZ.com. Take advantage of 15% off your order with code PrissyGirl.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Real Estate Connect podcast. Don't keep us a secret. Tell a friend to tell a friend and step your real estate game up.